Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be working on Lesson 7, the distance on coordinate plane. So what you see on the screen is very closely representative of what you have on your front sheet of your note packet. First thing we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out the length of the line segment AB. Line segment AB is represented by a line over the letters. This means line segment and then the letters on the two ends, A and B. Okay, nothing more confusing than that. It's just line segment AB. So what we need to do first is figure out line segment AB is right here, and one end of it is right there. So those coordinates would be, let's start from our Y, because we're always doing X first, and we're doing this second. X always goes first. We're going to start at 0, 0, and we're going to go over 1, 2. So my X coordinate is going to be X. Not X. It's going to be negative 2. And my Y coordinate is going to be, let's count up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's negative 2, 8. That's the point A. Now the point B is all the way over here. And also by counting X first, we're going to start at 0, 0, and we're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going over 9, so my X is going to be 9, because I did 9 first, comma, and then we have to go up, which is positive, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my points are negative 2, 8 for A, and 9, 8 for B. Now for distance, how far are they apart? Well, we could just count them and say it's how far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That would give me 11 units. But why is it 11 units? What's my proof? We need to figure something out. So I'm going to introduce a new term for you, so please write this down. The term is absolute value, and it's V-A-U-E. Okay, it's represented by two lines. Usually there's something in the middle, either a number or a variable. It could be positive or negative, okay, but it's represented by these two lines. So if you ever see something that has these two lines around a letter or variable, it is the absolute value sign. And what does it mean? Well, if you go in a dictionary, there's going to find multi-definitions on multiple words, but really what it comes down to is it means distance from 0. How far away from 0 is it? That's all that it means. So let's look at our 2 points. If we have 8 here and 8 here, so that means that's going to make a horizontal line that goes through the y-axis, because this is the y, right? Y is the second one. X is the first one, y is the second one, so it goes through 8. Now we need to find out how far apart those two lines are. So our first x value is negative 2. And what we're actually looking for is the absolute value of negative 2, because we're not actually going to be subtracting 2. We want to know how far is negative 2 away from 0. And I'm going to show you on the graph in just a second. And then we have to add that, because it's on one side, to the absolute value of 9. Now, let me erase what I have written here so you can kind of see it. What I'm looking for is the first one here, negative 2. Negative 2 is my x value here. Remember, it was negative 2 here. So how far is 2 away from 0? It is actually 1, 2. So absolute value of 2 is 2. It is 2 away from the 0 line. Now how far is absolute value of 9 away? Start over here. If we count backwards, B is 9 away. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from 0. Just get this? Even though this is negative 2 over here, it's really how far away from 0 is negative 2. Well, if I'm standing on 0 and I went 2 spaces down to -2, I actually went 2 spaces. So that's how I prove that it's 11. Okay? Let's move on to the second one because it is slightly different. Still thinking absolute value in mind. So the next one is BC. So that means it's going to be this point and this point. And we already remember B was 9, 8 from our last problem. So 9, 8 in parentheses. That tells me it's an ordered pair. And then let's find C. C is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my X is going to be 9 because X is first. And then it's going to go up 2. There we go. So B is 9, 8. And C is 9, 2. It's over 9 up 2. How far apart are those? Well, if we counted, we'd get 6. But let's prove it. And as we can tell from what we did earlier, remember how we had the 8 and the 8 together? 8 and 8 proved on the first example that if the 8's in the Y position, it will cross the Y axis at 8. But now we have a 9 and a 9 in the X position. That means if this line here were to actually go through the X, it would go through at 9. So that makes it a vertical line. Now let's do the proof. We're going to do 8 and 2. So we want to find the absolute value of 8, which is our first x-axis. So it's going to be absolute value of 8. And we know that 8 is actually 8 away from 0. And then the absolute value, I got to do one last thing. The absolute value of 2, which we know is 2. But this is where we kind of come into a little problem. Do I need to add them together, or do I subtract them? I want to erase it. Never mind. Okay, so we want to add or subtract. B is here, and C is here. They are in the same quadrant. So absolute value of 8 actually tells me how much is from there to there. And then we need to take 2 away, which would be that, to find out what was left. So we're actually going to subtract the smaller from the larger if they're in the same quadrant. So 8 minus 2 is 6. The answer is 6 units. Okay? So, as a quick rule, same quadrant, you are going to subtract. Different quadrant, you are going to add them together. Because in the first one, we wanted to know how much this was and add it to how much this was. That was our proof. In the second problem, we knew the whole, and then we had to take away the other part that we knew to find out what was left. That's why you add some and you subtract others. I would like you to finish the rest of this page on your own or with your partner, and then we're going to discuss this as a class. Thank you.